It's fun when the US play. You take a look throughout the whole match. A debate seemed to be ensuing from one side to the other regarding Michael Bradley and in his involvement in the national team. Obviously, the naysayers say, look, he was part of the major problem as to why we didn't go to the World Cup. He doesn't deserve this chance. Berhalter needs to be looking beyond Bradley and the future. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I think any situation you have to look at for what it is. And what it is right now is Michael Bradley is still good enough and one of our best players to play in that position. He's an excellent passer of the ball. If we put players around him that actually can relieve some pressure, get in little spots. We saw it quite a bit last night. Once the U.S. went up a goal, players felt more comfortable. They felt more free. They weren't hiding behind other players. If Michael Bradley has those options to just play a ball short and bounce it off, he has the ability to hit that long diagonal and be accurate with it. I thought his work rate was very good. At times when you didn't see Michael playing at his best, he wasn't necessarily covering the amount of ground that we see he can do. So all in all, it was a great performance in my opinion.
Stevie, obviously Neymar, it's a recurrence of the injury that he picked up last year that kept him out for most of the end of the season. Yep. And you were suggesting that he doesn't help himself in these situations.
Well, he's as good a player as he is, he lacks maturity. That's what it is. You know, when you talk about Neymar, you're not talking about a team player. We were talking last season about the problems they had in the Champions League was because he was messing everything up. He wouldn't pass the ball. He was out of position. He wasn't getting back. That's lack of maturity. And as far as getting injured, when you lack maturity, you don't learn, you get kicked.
Right.
And in fact, when he got injured last week, he got kicked 3 times in under 10 seconds. Now, anybody with any brains takes the first one and says, you know what, I better move the ball along. Not him. He doesn't have the maturity. He takes the second one. And instead of saying, OK, I've just been kicked twice, I should probably let this thing go. He doesn't. He goes the other way. He goes stubborn. And that's the lack of maturity. Takes another hit. And then he's off. Now we might be out for the rest of the season. That is complete and utter lack of maturity.
And what used to happen before, the tackles were a lot more physical. If you saw someone that was showboating and you could actually get close to him, because the old Ronaldo did the exact same thing, but you couldn't get close to him to kick him.
Yeah.
Neymar does. He gets himself in tight positions. He doesn't mind taking a whack or two. He'll go down quite easily, and that's why I was surprised he didn't go down after the second time he got kicked there. But for me, this is a game now that actually allows players of his ilk to do more with the ball, because you rarely see players making a statement and saying, hey, you're not going to do that, I'm going to take you out. And unfortunately, that's what happened with Neymar there.
And he's at the biggest club in France, obviously, so they're marked. They don't lose many games, but they're marked for a physical battle. That's what seems the only way they could probably, well, the team certainly in, outside the top 4 or 5, it's the only way they could probably match them or try and match them. And then you've got the biggest showboater, and I'm not condoning anybody kicking anybody, but he's the biggest showboater in France by far. And so Stevie said that brings on, and I'm not saying, and I'm never saying it's right, but it's what happens is that you pick out players when you're playing better teams. You don't sit back and say, oh, let's enjoy watching Neymar today. You pick them out and you say, listen, Mbappe and Neymar and Cavani and Verratti and whoever, we've got to target these players. We've got to be physical. And when you're showboating as you are, then you're going to bring that on. And I think he has. The disappointing thing is this could be the second year in a row he's going to miss out in the biggest games, and that's why PSG have brought him in.
And if you're coaching against Neymar, if I'm the coach of any team against a Neymar team, the first thing I'm going to say to anybody is, by the way, this guy will give you a chance to kick him.
Right.
That's where he puts himself.
From a Manchester United perspective, it was a conversation that I don't think many thought we would be having, but it's a very serious one now regarding whether or not Solskjaer should be given the job permanently in the summer. Where do you stand on this, and what does he have to achieve for you to be given that chance?
Well, the bookmakers don't give money away, do they, usually? And the bookmakers in London today are now making Solskjaer the 2-to-1 on favourite to get the job. And Pochettino has been eased out in that market after Spurs' latest failure yesterday at Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. I mean, Solskjaer's doing everything right, isn't he, at the moment? He obviously understands the club, and I think there's a key element in all of this, and that is Sir Alex Ferguson. He has a big ally in Sir Alex Ferguson. He got him into that job, really. He's advising him, and he is the power behind the throne. And I think if it carries on like this, he is going to get it.
I think the other thing to realise here is you know, the fact that they might, I don't know if they're pushing for Pochettino or not, but they might be getting some signals coming back. Right, that are going to be difficult barriers to break down. But I still think United should look at the structure, no matter who gets it. I mean, the days of Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger doing absolutely everything have gone. United, for me, no matter who they appoint, do need to appoint a high-profile, important, knowledgeable director of football, and then they have a transfer strategy. Because it's been a bit of a mishmash, or a lot of a mishmash the last few years since Fergie left. And so that would take some pressure off Solskjaer. He's got Mick Phelan there, who's a hugely experienced guy to help him there. If he had a bridge in between Ed Woodward, the way it's going at the moment, you could semi-see that actually working for United.
They've put themselves in a strange position, United, because, you know, you go for Van Gaal, then you go for Mourinho, and you're basically saying we need big names and experience.
Yep.
And so you get them, and they make a complete and utter shambles of it, both of them. And then you bring in a young guy. Okay, all we're going to we'll bring him in. Fans will be happy, players will be happy, and then he'll take us to the end of this year, and then we'll go and get. Now all of a sudden, it's like, well, why wouldn't you?
Yep.
You know.
But you always say coaching is the easiest thing when you're winning. It's when you're not that it gets harder. We haven't seen that yet, and I suppose that's the opposite. That's the other argument, isn't it, in all of this?
Yeah, no question. But you know, we can only guess, and so far, he hasn't made a mistake. He's done every single thing correct to the tactics, to the players on the field. I mean, I thought there was no way that he was going to start the likes of Sanchez and Lukaku in the FA Cup, because I thought he would want to keep this winning going, but no, he made the changes and everyone worked out great. So he's not made a mistake so far at all.
Welcome to Extra Time. Brian here for the first time this year, Brian.
Yes.
How was the runway you spent most of this morning on?
Yeah, it was quite a long day.
He is only 20-odd days old, by the way.
Right.
Right.
Just saying. I'm just saying, it's just a nice welcome.
He's not been here forever. Oh. 26 days, what is it? 26, 27?
28 it is.
28, there you go. Oh, I haven't seen you for 28 days.
It's just a nice intro.
Thank you, I felt the love.
Oh, well, more love for you, Brian.
Don't kill you. Hey.
Can I read some tweets now, or are you going to interrupt?
Do what you want with your new shirt on.
No question, but give Mr. McBride our best from the Illinois suburbs. Great memories watching him play. Chicago Fire.
Ah, thank you very much.
Oh,
not even a question. I'll take that.
Nice compliments.
Tell me, Sam, have Fulham got a big following in the US? I'm not been...
Yeah, no, I think they have a pretty big following.
Not usually.
Yeah. I think comparatively, other countries, yeah.
Is that because of you and Clint?
No, I think it's been, there's quite a few Americans who played there. So
mainly because
Eddie Lewis was there with Marcus Hanneman before I was there. Carlos Bocanegra was there like a week or two before I got there, and then while I was there, we had Clint, we had Eddie Johnson, we had Casey.
What's a big following? No, I'm understanding it because I saw somebody tweet this out a couple of weeks ago, and I was like,
I have no idea what the numbers are.
I can't, just because a few of you American guys.
What number did you see?
I didn't. Somebody just said Pulisic's going to Chelsea.
Right.
Could have an effect in America like the American boys had going to Fulham and increasing the Fulham support in America. And I thought, well, I haven't seen too many.
Oh.
Well, we also left there quite some time ago. But
maybe they'll play.
Thanks for bringing up that, Craig. Brilliant. Right, based on his appearances for Celtic so far, is Tim Weir best used in a super sub role, or can he be moulded to a great starting striker?
You all right?
Hear that, Brian?
No,
You're right
no,
there.
was that for me?
Well, just for whoever would like to talk about Tim Weir.
I've answered two. I think we can give fellas a chance.
Right.
Well, he's an exciting young
Was he scored
talent.
2 and 3?
I'm not sure exactly, but he's got off to a good start. I mean, it's a good platform for him, put it that way. I don't know how much game time Brendan Rodgers will give him, but what I do know, I mean, obviously it's certainly more than he was going to get where he was.
PSG.
I'm not so sure PSG want him to be playing a super sub role at Celtic. They want him. They want. I assume they've sent him there to play.
Yeah.
I think he can be a super sub for them. He doesn't have to go to Celtic.
I agree.
To be a super sub.
And plus, you know, if you get to play for Celtic, you're going to have a lot more opportunities than you normally would in a game situation. So I think those are going to be some huge benefits if he's playing regularly.
Ian Dark is with us as well. Not for the first time this year, been there before. Would you prefer to have in your squad, Ian, Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi? Good question.
Oh, that is a good question. I think at the moment I'd say Hudson-Odoi because he's in better form. I think Pulisic has been displaced in the Borussia Dortmund team, and I think he's in a kind of twilight zone there now, isn't he? I think he should have just made the move to Chelsea instead of hanging around at Dortmund for the rest of the season. So Hudson-Odoi, I think, is an exciting talent. Be interesting. That might have been his last game for Chelsea at the weekend because Bayern Munich want him badly, and he was a bit evasive when he was asked about it after the game. So watch what happens in the next couple of days.
The voice of Go Go USA.
He's now turned into...
saying that Pulisic is done.
he's now just turned into another...
I knew that was coming, Ian.
Another American
That was
hater
it.
now.
That was it.
Ian.
You opened the door.
You said at the moment. You said at the moment. I mean, I think Pulisic's going through a difficult spell. That's all I'd say.
You say he's
to
finished.
that.
He's done.
Bend them already.
You guys are horrible.
They played Hanover at the weekend.
over.
Dortmund played Hanover at the weekend, and they're bottom of the league, and
Fickle media.
they battered them, and Pulisic's never come on.
Didn't need him. That's fine.
Ian, how would you fix the FA Cup? How would you make it more relevant?
Broke.
It's never going to happen in a month of Sundays, but the FA Cup it's in a bad way now. I think only 5 Premier League teams have got through definitely to the 5th round. That could go up to 7, depending on the replays. It's being badly treated by managers with weakened teams. What I'd do is say, not the top 4 make the Champions League, the top 3 and the next place goes to the FA Cup winners.
Bit cold in
That
England.
would solve it at a stroke.
That's
At a stroke.
You all right?
Yeah. Tell me about... I hear you had a very interesting
what's going on here.
golf trip with Derek Ray.
Oh, jeez.
What's that got to do with the... Okay, yeah, talking of the FA Cup, yes, we had a few games of golf down in in Spain.
Alicante, Ian.
We had a couple of games at Alicante where the US women's team were playing against Spain, and it was very, very windy, and the games kind of ended all square in the end.
We saw you in the off-air feed making excuses about the weather.
I thought you had live coverage of the golf game for a moment.
No, well, all right. It was an incident, but I wouldn't.
Right,
I was going to say there were better things to watch.
Okay, given his injury problem, should PSG sell Neymar this summer?
They'd never make their money back. You need at least one healthy season and a productive season,
Brian?
in my opinion.
Another question for you, Brian.
Oh, okay.
Will Fulham survive the season? If not, how long till they return to the Premier League?
Well, if they don't, I hope it's right away. But I think there has to be an addition of some strength in the back. They need somebody that can withstand some more flighted balls into the penalty area. And, you know, bringing Babel in, I think, gives them a different option. It has now somebody that can run off of Mitrovic a little bit more and understand to play in a partnership. I took some positives away from the last Premier League match, but it's defensively is always going to be the issue.
Brian, you look sad.
Yeah, well, I'm disappointed. I, of course, want them to stay up and do well.
Okay, we're going from that to this. If you had to go to any city and live there for the rest of your life, what would it be? Where would it be?
I got mine.
Oof. You got yours?
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Scottsdale,
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Golf.
Golf.
Wine.
Great
Is there
weather.
a lot of wine there as
No,
well?
not a lot of wine, but they ship wine in.
I'm sure they've got it in the stores.
Yeah.
So we got Scottsdale. Stephen.
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one, Craig.
I would say San Diego.
Right, okay. Any particular reason?
Oh, I see it.
Someone's whispering in her ear.
Climate and the golf
Yeah.
and all the rest of it.
I'm Madrid, obviously. Closer to Sid. Beautiful man.
Yeah.
Ian, Alicante.
Not too windy. I'd get probably Barcelona, but I think San Diego's a good call as well. I mean, the climate there's wonderful, isn't it?
Can't take Craig's. Craig's already got San Diego.
You thought is having it?
No.
I can see your brain racking.
I know
No, I can't.
Because your hair's moving.
No.
As long as his wife's cooking
Just
somewhere, he's
nowhere,
happy.
or-
Just somewhere warm
Sheffield,
to play golf.
Nottingham, Boston.
Too cold. Somewhere warm to play golf all year round.
Right, well, okay.
Give us a name.
Well, there's There's not one in particular that I've been to that I would turn around and say that's where I would go.
Okay.
There would be plenty of choice. I may need some more time to think.
All right, okay. Right, final question. Ian, what's your favourite dessert?
Oh, blackberry and apple crumble with
Nice.
a little bit of cream.
No hot custard.
Can't beat it. No, I prefer cream, or maybe a bit of ice cream.
Oh, let Ian.
Eyes
smile
I
there
like
too.
ice cream.
Favourite dessert?
Dessert, probably cheesecake, candy, Reese's peanut butter cups.
Why are you making that noise?
I don't do dessert.
I'll buy some time till he has a think.
He doesn't do dessert, does he?
I don't need to think. I don't do
He'll
dessert.
just have crisps.
Well, what about the ice cream? The big dollop, the big large one that his missus gave him, and he said, "Oh, I'll have to eat it."
Ice cream?
I don't do dessert.
What about ice cream?
You do
Oh,
everything
ice cream.
else.
I've seen you eat ice cream.
Are you not liking extra
Well,
time?
put it this way.
Why are you
Let
in a
me put it
grumpy
down
mood?
right. When I go out for a meal, I don't have a dessert. How's that?
Yeah, I don't either.
There you go.
Right,
Starter, main course, beer.
but you like ice
there you
cream.
go.
But you eat ice cream.
I like ice cream. I like cake. I like all kinds of things, but I wouldn't. If I'm going out for a meal, I will not have dessert.
It's not whether you will have dessert. It's what dessert will you have if you're eating it?
Have you put sugar on it? He'll eat it.
What if all the desserts in the world
Right.
lined up and they'll say you have to have one?
I'll give you one, my favourite. Creme brulee.
Creme brulee's very
Right.
nice. I like a
That's
banana
good.
Oh,
split.
yeah.
Creme brulee.
Stevie?
Come on. I'll say creme brulee 5 times, that'll give you 10.
Try to think the name.
Stevie,
of it.
which city would you live
When we
in
were a
if you
kid.
could live in it?
Jam sponge.
No. What was it? What was the ice cream in a roll? Remember you used to.
Oh, the Arctic roll.
Arctic roll. Arctic roll.
Arctic roll. There we go!
Arctic roll.
We got there in
fruit.
the
There you
end.
go. Used to have it was a
What
kid.
about a city?
Why are you grumpy today? Are you off tomorrow?
Grumpy.
Grumpy.
What about
isn't
Liverpool?
it? Me?
You wouldn't live in Liverpool? Turncoat.
Well, how warm is it in Liverpool?
Warmer than here.
Oh, you are. Stevie's off tomorrow. Enjoy yourself. Have some Arctic roll.
You don't eat.
I don't know what, by the way, can anybody tell me where to get Arctic roll? I've not seen it in years.
Wait, now you want dessert?
Yeah, you don't eat it. No. What's your favourite starter? What's your favourite starter?
Favorite starter.
Soup. There it is.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Thank you very much to Ian.
What kind?
ESPN.
Leaky
Back
potato.
tomorrow.
There you go.
Premier League action, of course, for us to look back on. Oh, you want to?
You know somebody's going to tweet in and say, you didn't talk about football.
No.
Yeah, I saw that a few times.
Yeah, you hate British.